I use GLP-1s in my perimenopausal and menopausal patients, but when I do this, we have to make sure that there's a few ducks in a row, is what I tell them, and they understand this, and we have an agreement here. So it's never my first line. The weight gain that happens during menopause is very inflammatory, and it's more of a body composition change. So lean mass goes down, visceral fat goes up. Visceral fat isn't very inflammatory, so it increases risk of high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, fatty liver. It's not something to mess around with, but when I see my patients for perimenopause, I want to make sure we optimize A, protein intake, B, start weightlifting, or change their weightlifting. Evaluate the caloric intake. I just got to see, what you're doing. Sleep, stress. I always check their thyroid. I check their vitamin D. What else? I think that's the list. And then I replace their hormones. So I get them on estrogen and progesterone and or testosterone, depending on what their labs show. But once all of that is optimized and we've done this for a while and we still are having trouble with our weight, then I will layer in the GLP-1s, semaglutide, tirzepatide. But the beautiful thing is when I do that in these women, we don't need to go to the highest dose. A lot of them stay at the lowest dose, depending on how much weight we have to lose, but they'll stay at the lowest dose. And some will go up to, the 0.5, but most of the time we're at the lowest dose. And then we wean off very slowly. But the more you exercise and the more you optimize your protein intake, the more likely you're able to come off of these long term. I do understand that there's a lot of women that I see, and when we talk about this, that they're not going to come off. Either they already have prediabetes, they have diabetes, or they've struggled with their weight their entire life, and then menopause is just like a literal punch in the gut. And these are the patients, I see these patients every single day. So this is my life, not my life. I'm not menopausal. I will not, I can't speak for that, but I talk to them and I talk to these women. And so I feel terrible that so many are dismissed and that you're probably been dismissed. But just know that there are a lot of women who probably feel the same way you do. And there's hope to find a provider that will listen to you. And there's things you can feel better. It just takes a very comprehensive approach and a very nuanced approach and somebody who's going through lifestyle and managing everything. So let me know if you have any questions.